G'day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the Golden Week campaign, or the Aim for the Top Dokkan campaign that has recently come out on DBZ Dokkan Battle Global and on Dokkan Battle JP. So this is a pretty straightforward event. I say pretty straightforward, but there's some pretty good rewards here. There's 10 stones for just logging in, along with 2 stones a day all the way up till the end of April. This means it's a massive 76 stones, all coming from login campaign, which is pretty big, to be honest with you. It's pretty sizable. It's definitely a nice chunk of stones. Now the special missions, not so much. They are special missions, and most of them are in relation, or some of them are in relation to obtaining your Golden Week 30 summon tickets. And I think obviously this is important to a certain extent, so I don't want to downplay this in any way, shape or form, but it definitely is important. But when you look at it overall, I would have to say that obviously something that's super important is that there's not a lot of stones here. There's only 4 stones for the missions here, so it's nothing too crazy, but obviously you get the tickets as well, which is a bit of a bonus. Now if you're wondering about the tickets and everything to do with the tickets, obviously I do have a video that's up about how to obtain the tickets, so hopefully that is of interest to you guys. But in general, the campaign is relatively straightforward, and yeah, it's a pretty simple system. Now in terms of the actual content that's come with the campaign, there's a fair chunk of content. We have 2 new Dokkan events, each giving 2 stones, one for Goku and one for Piccolo Jr., which I'm sure most players will be able to appreciate. Then we also have some pretty sizable content. We have the Guru's Growth mission, which is cool. We have a new Super Strike. We have a Dokkan Boss Rush, which is always nice, I guess, pretty straightforward. We then have a new SBR and ESBR, which is always good to see, as well as, of course, also having a new Virtual Dokkan, a new EZA, a fully loaded weekend missions, and explosive chain battle. There is also going to be the Goku Gohan Day in May, which will piggyback onto this event as well and bring more content. So with that being said, there are some events that have been reopened up, none of them too crazy, although there's some good sources of Kais here. Virtual Dokkan will be out on Monday, and we have Extreme Z Dokkan, or basically the announcement of the Piccolo EZA, quite quickly on. So that'll be coming basically next week Tuesday, which is really cool. Piccolo's getting his EZA, which is very exciting for most players, overall. Then the fully loaded weekend missions, all pretty good. Explosive chain battle, also pretty good. And yeah, just generally some decent content. It's not tons of content, but it should be enough to keep you going. I do think Goku Gohan Day will be adding on to this, so it should be relatively good overall, I think, in general. Now, of course, to obviously just run through all the events and basically take a look at everything, it's all fairly simple. So in terms of story events, there's the new Super Strike, along with the reopening of the other events. Now Super Strikes are generally pretty good. We're talking 22 stones, which is honestly pretty solid. So you have 22 stones from the new Super Strike. We'll be taking a look at that and just how good we can obviously get our General Tao to be, and he's going to have to be pretty good, just considering all factors and just how few good General Taos there are in the game. So excited to see what he does, but yeah, he's gonna have to be pretty rock solid. Now in terms of other content, obviously we have the Guru event. There's no stones for this, but there are Kais and Link levels, so I highly suggest that you do it. It is going to be worth your time as always, so make sure that you get around to doing that. Then of course we also have the 2 new Dokkan events for Goku and Piccolo, the Demon King who shook the world, and we also obviously have Goku's event. We then have the Extreme Super Battle Road against Revenge category, I believe it is, and then we also have the Super Battle Road stage as well. So pretty decent content, 6 stones each for both of those, 36 stones for the boss rush, which is obviously also pretty good, and in general just a pretty decent time. Now the EZA for Piccolo will only be coming next week, so keep an eye out for that to make sure that you obviously do that as it comes out. It will probably give 33 stones along with a great EZA for Piccolo in general. And then of course as well, Virtual Dokkan Ultimate Clash, which will be 32 stones as it always is. And then of course also we will have the Explosive Chain Battle, which will come a bit later, which again is also a fantastic source of stones, around 14 as well. The fully loaded weekend missions will only become available basically later on, so you are going to have to keep your eye out for that. Obviously the other big thing that has come with this campaign is of course the actual banner itself, which features some pretty cool units. I think most players will admit that both units look really interesting. You'll see that I have summoned, but I don't want to spoil exactly what happened, and you can watch my summoning video if you are keen on seeing what happened there. Just want to point out that there are indeed tickets that you can buy currently, which should be of interest to you if you can afford them. They are generally more valuable than stones, but I don't like to say that you should buy these things. But that's it from me. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to in the campaign, and I will see you guys in the next video. But until then, take care, stay safe, and bye.